Boyfriend, 25M, who I, 23M, just moved in with, called me another woman's name. Details keep getting weirder. I moved across the country to start a new life with my boyfriend, but then he called me by someone else's name, and the rabbit hole goes much deeper than that. My boyfriend and I just moved to Washington, D.C. after being long distance for a year, splitting our time between Boston and Los Angeles. I had gone back home for a year after graduating because my mom had cancer, while he stayed in Boston for his career. We both recently landed jobs in the D.C. area and finally moved in together about 3 weeks ago. A few days after we got settled, we went to pick up a desk from Facebook Marketplace. We were in the middle of loading it into the car. He turned to me and said, "Open the door for me, Olivia." My name is not Olivia. It isn't even remotely close to my name. I was completely caught off guard. But because the seller was standing right there and we still had to finish the transaction, I didn't say anything at that exact moment. On the drive home, I finally asked him, "Who is Olivia?" He immediately got defensive, telling me, "I don't even know any Olivias. I'm exhausted from the move, it's hot outside, and I was carrying a heavy piece of furniture." That explanation didn't really sit right with me. I checked his Instagram following and pointed out that he actually follows a bunch of women named Olivia. He claimed they were just people he knew from college. It seemed odd, but we had just finished a very stressful cross-country move, so I decided to let it go. That night, however, I couldn't stop thinking about the interaction. Then I remembered something from a few months earlier. I had borrowed his phone to check something and noticed he had been looking at a random girl's Viesco profile. It had struck me as strange at the time, but I hadn't made a big deal out of it. Suddenly, I remembered that girl's name was Olivia. I asked him if he recognized the name Olivia followed by her last name. He said no and claimed he had never heard that name in his life. That seemed bizarre because when I looked her up, I discovered they work at the same relatively small company, which only has about 100 employees. Based on their social media photos, they had even attended the same company Christmas party. I asked if I could look through his phone, and he reluctantly agreed. In his email, I found well over 100 emails from her. They appeared to be work-related, but I still found it hard to believe that someone could receive that many emails from a person and then genuinely claim to have no idea who they are. I also found out he'd spent 4 nights at her apartment when he claimed to be working late. At that point, I was feeling anxious, and admittedly, I wasn't thinking very clearly. I requested to follow her on Instagram. 2 weeks later, which was tonight, she finally accepted my follow request. About 30 seconds after that, she blocked me. When I brought this up to my boyfriend, he became extremely defensive again. He says I'm creating stories in my head, connecting unrelated things and looking for problems that don't exist. I genuinely don't know what to think. Am I reading too much into a weird coincidence, or do these things together seem suspicious? Is it possible he's cheating, or am I letting my anxiety get the best of me?